Good day. My name is Mark Woodworth. I am the president of PKF Hospitality Research, and I'm joined here in Atlanta today by my good friend and colleague, Jack Corgel. Jack, welcome back to Atlanta.
Thanks, Mark.
And one of the reasons I'm happy you're back is I have three questions for you today.
That many?
I have three. Yes, I've been thinking long about what the three questions should be. And question number one is, with respect to supply, what's going to happen in 2012 to the level of supply change in the United States?
Well, Mark, I'm glad you asked me the easiest question first because supply is a pretty known commodity. The number of hotels opening in 2012 is going to be few in number. In fact, our estimates are that supply growth is going to be about 0.5% in 2012. And the continuing banking crisis isn't going to make it much better anytime soon.
And I think probably the one exception that I'm aware of that would be if you're in New York City. That's a little different outlook, and there's some unique things that are happening in New York. But I totally agree. If we look across literally the balance of the markets, that's the case. Okay, question number two is demand for hotel rooms in 2012. What is that going to look like?
Now you've asked a harder question. But we need to drop back to the economic fundamentals, which are vastly improved according to Moody's Analytics forecasts over 2011. GDP growth rates are projected to be higher, and real personal income, which is a main driver of our demand forecast, is literally going to be double, 4.7%, and that's in real terms, Mark. In nominal terms, it's potentially 2% higher than that. So the drivers of demand growth are substantial, but demand growth on a percentage basis is actually going to be lower than in 2011.
Well, I was just going to say that as we're in the midst now of updating our forecasts for the industry for next year, and if I look at what our demand growth number is for 2012, and compared to where we think 2011 is going to end up, it's almost half as much demand growth next year as it is this year. And explain that one to me.
My answer to that difficult question is ADR growth. We have seen pricing power return to the lodging industry during the third quarter of 2011. ADR growth was 3.8% in 2011 third quarter. We're projecting ADR growth to be 4.7% in the year of 2012. So all of those positive economic drivers are going to manifest themselves in ADR growth.
So in wrap up, what I think I just heard you say was very little new supply in the vast majority of markets, economic fundamentals looking far superior relative to what we've seen happen in 2011. And those two factors will continue to provide greater levels of pricing power for hotel managers, and vastly improved room rates should result.
Exactly. Now I have two questions for you.
I hope they're easy. Go ahead.
Question number one, will there be a holiday video outlining the Hotel Horizons forecast coming up in December, and will you wear your red sweater during that holiday video? So it's a two-part question.
And in no particular order, yes and no.
Second question, a little more substantial, I guess, is what do you talk to a lot of people as you travel and make presentations and visit with clients and subscribers. Are there any anecdotes that you've heard that sort of support what we're saying here today?
Yes, there are, and I would put those anecdotes into two categories. Category one would be there's no question that there continues to be elevated levels of uncertainty in the marketplace. And so that's causing people to pause, people to ask themselves twice, what should I be expecting to happen going forward and so forth. And and that's very, very real. And that is affecting consumer behavior. Having said that, category two of my anecdotal observations is whether it's talking to meeting planners or corporate travel planners, our clients, their managers and properties and negotiations they're having with their key customers, with very, very rare exception, there is a very high level of optimism as it relates to both the level of demand increase next year and, importantly, the price that customers are expecting to have to pay for their hotel rooms. So, again, and that anecdotal evidence does tick and tie very nicely with our more objectively developed expectations for what's going to happen in 2012.
Great.
So with that, thanks again for taking some time to hear of our current thinking. We will be coming out another month, or roughly within a month, with an update once our forecasts have been fully revised, and we look forward to sharing that with you then. Thanks again.